Hey guys, Amanda Kendall here with Elevating Profits. Today I want to talk to you about why having a home-based business is such a brilliant thing to do when it comes to taxes. So, you may have heard, but you may not have heard, that there are two tax systems in the US. We have one that is geared towards employees, W-2 wage earners, and workers. We have a second one that is definitely more favorable that is geared towards business owners. So, that's the one we're going to be talking about today. But let me go ahead and just tell you really quick on the wage earner side. If that is your only source of income, it is not coming from any sort of small business that you own, there's not a lot of tax planning that can be done for you when it comes to trying to reduce your tax bill legally. You have some very standard options. You can contribute to a deductible retirement account. You can maybe do some income shifting and push some income into the following year, but your options are extremely limited. And so you're not going to see that. So now, business owners, this is for you. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. So if you're watching this, I'm assuming it's because you either have a home-based business or you are considering starting a home-based business and someone has sent you here to watch this video, or you just Googled it and you came across it. Either way, congratulations, buckle in, here we go. Ready? All right, there are several reasons why running a small business is so beneficial when we're talking about looking at our tax system here in the US. We're going to run through a couple of them here. The first one is being able to take personal expenses that you've always paid for out of pocket and making them business expenses. Things like telephone, internet, part of your household expenses, part of your vehicle expenses. These things, if they're legitimately used in your business to generate an income, part of it can be written off on your taxes. So now, not only have you taken expenses that you've already been paying and just shifted them over to your business, but now they become tax deductible for you. So this is like a double whammy of savings. It's amazing. Let's use it. So second thing that I want to talk about is the ability to generate tax-free income in your business legally, because that is the key, legally. So you can actually generate tax-free income in your business. You can do this in several ways. There is a method of renting out your home from your business that you can look at. There is a method of paying your minor children in your business that you can look at that is tax-free. There is some tax law, just as the way it stands right now, that can generate some tax-free income for your household. There are lots of ways to get tax-free income into your household and be able to just see income coming in without the taxes going out on it. And that is the key. So that's reason number two why having a small business is such a brilliant freaking idea. So third one, as we're kind of going back to that first one about personal expenses. So when you're self-employed, medical insurance, and if done correctly and set up the right way, medical expenses in general can be tax deductible to your business. So again, taking something you've already been paying for personally and being able to shift it over to the business and write it off as an expense, it's like a double whammy. It's amazing. Love it. Okay, so let's talk about why you want to do this. So I had to look up some statistics before going on this video because I wanted to make sure to share some facts with you, because if you watch any of my other videos, you know, I'm all about telling you all the benefits and pros and the cons and just being really upfront. I don't sugarcoat anything, but I also want to back it up with data. So let's talk numbers, because that's what I do. All right, so the average household in America today brings home $62,000 before taxes. The average household in America today pays anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 in taxes. So let's say 14,000, and let's just look at those numbers. So you're making 62, you're paying 14 out in taxes. So on average, you are making after taxes about $48,000. Now, here's the kicker. The average household, and again, these are averages. You're going to have higher, you're going to have lower. This is the average. The average household to run on minimal necessary expenses is about $53,000 a year that it takes to run a household and keep it running. So this is just the essentials: your housing, your utilities, your food, your clothing, like the things you have to have. This is not splurging. This is not factoring in vacations or anything like that. $53,000 on average is what it costs to run a household in America. So you're bringing in 48 after taxes, you're spending 53. Math doesn't add up. You're spending more than you're making. by about $5,000 a year. And then we sit back and we wonder why our country is in so much debt. It's because so many people are making less after taxes than what they have to spend to keep their household running. And so they're using credit cards and they're using loans and they're just racking up debt year after year after year to make this work. This is a problem. This is a pandemic we have, America. This needs to be fixed. How do we fix this? Starting home-based businesses. So let's say you start a home-based business. Let's say you join a network marketing company and it costs you a couple $100s to get started. But let's say over the course of the first year, you can generate $7,000 in income. So now not only have you closed that $5,000 gap that you were putting on credit cards or borrowing money to just meet the minimum every year, but you're also $2,000 ahead. So now with that extra $2,000, maybe we drop it into savings, maybe we spend it. But here's the thing is you're not really just $7,000 ahead because you have expenses. So let's say that you take that $7,000 and you have $2,000 of traditional business expenses. We're not even talking the other stuff we covered. But let's say you have $7,000 of traditional expenses or $2,000 of traditional expenses. So you have $5,000 of profit after expenses. So now you've closed the gap, but you don't have any excess. However, let's say that you've taken a portion of your internet, your cell phone. Let's say you've taken a portion of your vehicle expenses and your household expenses, and through those methods, we've generated another $5,000 of expenses. So now you actually on taxes show $0 in profit on that tax return, but you technically have closed that gap because $5,000 that you made in income that was being used on personal expenses is now being written off. So you still have that in your pocket to spend. So now not only have you closed the gap, but you actually, instead of just having $2,000 extra, now you have $5,000 extra. This is amazing, guys. Like seriously amazing. So if you are considering starting a home-based business, I want to encourage you to do so. I want to encourage you to be serious about it. I want to encourage you to put your best effort out there and make it work, because this, my friends, is how we're going to close the debt gap here in America. This is how households are going to get out of poverty. This is how households are going to start to generate true wealth for their families for generations to come. It's not going to be by going to work and collecting a paycheck for your 40 hours and maybe occasionally your overtime and maybe occasionally a bonus or a raise every couple of years. That's not going to do it. What's going to do it is starting a small business. So if you're on the fence about starting a small business, I want to encourage you and just be that kick that you need to say, go for it. Do your research, but go for it. It's going to be amazing. If you put the work in, it will be amazing. So again, 2 tax systems, one for wage earners, one for small business owners. The one for small business owners gives you benefits that are like up here, and the wage earner one has benefits that are like here. There's a huge gap. There's so much that can be done, and I've seriously just touched on it a little bit in this video. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to talk you through some of the basics of getting started and what that looks like from a business standpoint. I'm again Amanda Kendall with Elevating Profits, and I look forward to helping you down the road with your tax needs.